Afoko has spoken, and what Afoko said, very interesting. We are still on the NPP. At a point where a former chairman of the NPP, Afoko Netam, about $15 million, Ghana must go, Edema Ekufuado or one fee. Mumbusa Afoko Sameboa. Afoko tam $15 million. Na egu Ghana must go on one fee, businessman or call bank, and or call withdraw $50 million in cedis. On one fee, no Tamama Ekufuado say, wo, for running elections, Omu and Komukuna to actually. Paul Afoko and the Wakasa, or say, at a point, I realized NPP had been branded an elite and account party. I wanted to change that. Onu 10 years ago, or see I am the chairman of the NPP. No, Obewu say NPP no na omo bon you no. Aya diyan ade ya friend no party yesi omo ko school. And party yesi omo ya kamfo. Now, or see oye na adwene say or person or rebrand party no. The NPP had been branded. Or suddenly ya brandy or mosa. But I couldn't talk as I say, oh, real party, no, say the brand na wabontino. That is not what is actually transpiring in the party. Into I now you say, obey some small changes be to rebrand the party. And one uncle one can say, share. Yen no bon or chimbini o. Ye kiusu so bewu. We are not going to allow you to change. Oteni Paul Afoko. Untumi free stream. And my NPP headquarters was salam down. And me chair ye because ya tibinim yana pay. And then I almost started ganging up against Paul Afoko. And what they wanted to do, they say they wanted to even kill him and kill his brother. That is the NPP. Where a former chairman, Nisika ko MPP, he has invested millions into Paul Afoko. Yeah, and I say he wanted to rebrand the NPP. That basically, Anna amount or realize say they had branded as an elite and an account party because also Remuno. Oh, say party no tribalism no wom. No, say tribalism ne jinem. Oh, say party no asantefo no any wom no mudin ko fo atem. Oh, say asantefo ni bi emunipa. Oh, say group bi o party no a na omo person de obi abehwe. Into I na adwiri say nko ne nko person oboa. Na nka sebio he mama kan kire. So what is the MPP ni eka say MPP a account party or person catch say MPP is a tribal asantefo party, but he's being diplomatic about it. Paul Afoko using Akano, he didn't want to sound the straight shot for people to know where he's coming from. He's a politician. He's being very, very careful the words he uses. Paul Afoko was trying to tell us to say the party was a tribal party, and as a northerner who came to lead the party, he wanted to rebrand the party. And so, tribalistic or party, they did not allow him to rebrand the party. The party has been a tribal party for years. And then NPP be tribalistic about everything. It's a party that was born in tribalism. In the Paul Afoko, we are kind of politically correct. He's trying to be politically correct. And instead of using the word akan. In MPP dictionary, so because akana, it means asantefo. Yeah. Because MPP petumia, almost omu hiya santinia, ofri meisia, or this year. Some MPP petumia, no makacho say, omu we need 2 minutes, we are almost a party, no, a santefo party. But some petumia, almost a account for, munina momra, na yanje party ni siye, into a yan bonofo, ye yan ko for, ye yan edian, a ye domafo, ye yan account for, or j 2 minutes, no, the Jinokumasi say, a 2 for. Ne chia me a friend Bafo Akoto ya Santini and a yin boy room 700 at a party. So they have two things. You see, their definition of account depends where they stand at the moment. So what is the MPP ni using the word akana? Ask where he is standing. Baby Ojinano and or find that word. It depends where they are, their condition. That will determine whether to use akan or asante. It is someone here to me. They want accounts. They are an account party. So when you to me, we are a Santefo and the MPP about power. That is their dictionary. And the Paul Afoko is being politically correct because he knows his people. Even just saying, say, a Santefo be a party, no, or you say they can come after him. So he's being politically correct by saying, say, I can for. Asma mi king. And if a pa ne ya tra, obi to wa ejiman wesi bone. Hashtag £700. Ɛyin for pa na maka asɛm ɛyin deɛ na maka ɛyatro obi a wɔga na bia nim sɛ deɛ meka na ɛnokorɛ da bɛn ɛna MPP winning power yɛde saa tumi no ɛkɔ account ni bia account hini bia anim. The only ohini yɛde ne kɔ anim ɛyɛ me ankasa mo for 2472 because the party only recognize 2472. They don't recognize any account ni hini bia because omumbu account hini bia or account memu. Da bɛn na MPP winning party a winning election ka sɛ yɛde ɛyɛ president na we win no ye kofu ye kwa ohini we fie or ya kani hene da na TV da. They only recognize Otumfuo because a Asantefo party. Momi yankani ehunto ene enjai embrabraso no ene na ekuye. So they don't recognize Akamfo. The NPP as a political party. Some of Asantefo mo are tribal. Ohini bia or ya kani bia mo respect no. They only respect Otumfuo and I don't have a problem with that. But say Otumfuo nkwa na obuno say ono nkwa na party ni ane dia ene Asantefo party a then upetumi a catch Otumfuo ene Asantefo kakra bi so mama otumi. So upetumi a menka sa Akamfo party. Sa ni die na wo de ma Otumfuo as a political party no fa sa ni die ne ma ko hene. Fa saa ni die ne ma doma hene. Fa saa ni die ne ma bonofo hene. Fa ni die ne ma obi a oka akankasa bia hene. Se ne be on behu se ye nyina ne ye pretumi abafie. Na wontumi kan je se ye nyina embra be pretumi na tumi no de enkunimdie ba. Na de akomo hene ba akoka je se party ne ehya asante afuruma eye asantefo na de party ba power. No. And that is my problem with the MPP. I don't hate anybody in the MPP. The selective way they do things. And then a tribal party. And then I'm up my party no essay. And then I'm up your party not being attractive now. Now I'm going to tell you Afoko Sakaye. Afoko say NPP is making a big mistake by holding its presidential primaries in January. Or say party no in penifom di anim no mu jimi to hold presidential primaries even before executive primaries. No, it shows that party no they are not serious. They are making one of the biggest mistakes. The party will implode. Party no best say free inside. How do you lose an election with 2 million votes? 2 million. And in less than a year, you want to go and have a presidential primaries. And the party structure says, first, you need to make sure executives do your primaries first. And sana executives, and making sure say, the presidential. How do you quickly decide to say you will do the presidential before the executive? It means to say there are some people in the party agenda. This is a former chairman of the party. 90% of MPP was catching Obiani MPP was school channel. Obiani MPP or any pachano. Obiani MPP or personality chair Paul Afoko. Obiani MPP or Nimyansa channel. Paul Afoko the standard no one nyawotawa kromu standard na wo omo no mo tie party no mo nim party no nyansa enti kwasi ampanyi bia ntumi pagya ne tinka say me di party Paul Afoko is better than majority of the people in the party and the executives. In fact, he can pay every executive. Enti when Paul Afoko tells you say I have been there before, I have been the party chairman before, I have used my money to run the party before, I've made losses, I am telling you on authority, the party will explode when you try to have your elections of electing the flag bearer in January. Or say, the NPP is making a big mistake by holding the presidential primaries in January. I see you are making a big mistake. But you see, unya party nanabi di enima. When you are making a mistake, will you know? No, nanabi e jimi. Unya party abronya regional chairman. Can you actually make the right decisions? No. Unya party chairman want to be a national chairman aya. Can you think right? No. Unya Pentium 2 JFK get rebebutu no your general secretary. Can you make right decisions? No. So o chairman indisposed, you party national chairman. Can you make right decisions? No. When you have a cow as a third vice chairman, can the party make a good decision? No. So the party is being led by fools, animals. They can't think. Ama enkwara no mudi akire no impeteku no sa imbrechie no they are also learning the same thing. They are not asking questions. Oh yeah ne party na ne dom yeah de baomia ne wo yeah de Kennedy ne wo yeah de MPP de adware into impeteku de akire impetekulization. They have been petekulized. And as I'm peteku no omo hye omo no mudi akire they have been petekulized into omo saline. Into a honorable in particularization, how they in particularize and in particularize how they think. They think in an in particularized way. Into my same peteku. Party no my same peteku. So they have in particularized them. Into one that's almost party no wasama. Utie omunkwara say na mama Jimmy. Can't you differentiate between the papa na ade dem penifone and enyamu? They don't get it. Because they have been imbrachalized, Mbana has been imbrachalized, and Mbemana have been particularized. Omadane man imbrachi, and Omadane Mbeman in Petiku, MPP delegates and supporters. So they have imbrachalized them, and then they have particularized them, Bema, into Omu DHD gang. I might say nine. And they cannot think, they cannot reason, they cannot ask questions because Omu do SSP, Omu go school be. SS no yedum ko gina gate na no masi peg ye pion mo nko o masi peg o pela boaje adan a ye de wo fa be wu me nya sika nti adwene na eye basic adwene ye de badwene no ebi ni ho Musa dan kwa na ko research no de be kire. So the party is full of particularized human beings and abrachalized human beings. Nti unwo mo a the reason enti na ndra na meka say when you see an MPP person sa enkwara girls bi omdidi di MPP chi wo hwe omo ho pa wo hwe omo ho wo hwe ewi e wo mo ho a I say ewi no kura ye brown omo ho aye fin omo dan tokura dan mu ente me bu sa mo nkwara no mo future ne esia end game ne sen se me na MPP mu ana be ma jimi mi nya no aware wa na say oh yes ade we build then na wo ye. It's a question na osanka mo ma mo frɛ mo ka say inteku impeteku say wo abrechi a wo DMPP o end game ne sen wo DMPP chia de akwa ware ana wo di echira kosi dan ana wo di echira kos den na wo di echira de aye e den na wo di MPP ne chia because omo handle MPP with their money no they are telling you say the direction the party is going it will implode party yemu ba blast it. Party they are doing this all because some executives, they want to still stay in power. A Baumia strategy, a Baumia plan. And you see, Adebakwana me yan say, Canada Japan, Brandon Champon, Cobre Japan, and Kentry, they all know Baumia is rigging the elections. They can't talk. Because if you believe that you are a good competitor, now Baumia a rigging election, you need to step away. Yeah. You need to issue a statement and say, you know something, from what I am seeing, the party is rigging the election for one person. Canada Japan, I'm not going to contest this. But if you sit, whilst you know they are rigging the election out to them, where Jimmy? Because Kennedy, Canada Japan, Kentry, and the last person, these people know they will not win the elections. They know Bawumia any executives no almost register no the party register no. The reason why intia oman pene mamon be registered people cannot float money and they cannot buy delegates. They know Bawumia has the money on a summary. So they are not going to open it up. Now the register they have now, until they put together a new register, you cannot win because this is the same register he used in rigging the first elections. This is the first register, but the rigging first one, and he's going to use the same register. Now, what they have done is they have opened it up a little bit and brought people who were appointees of Akufo-Addo. They have brought in past MPs who were appointed by Akufo-Addo. They have brought in people who used to work with Bawumia to be part of the register. So he has opened the register in his favor. So there's no way anybody in the MPP can win elections against Bawumia. Actually, wait, Jimmy. It is we a politician. This is the time for you to pull the plugs. You all pull the plugs and say Bawumia. That's what you do. You prove, say, your inclusion can make a difference. But when you say the answers are sure muchi. Udu Jimmy says still udu fia baka chiro mame. Undru mambo no we near to do wu. And nu be near Kennedy and an impetekuno. Kennedy and an imbrechi no. Bawumia brechi and impetekuno de. They know some more for there. Wabo edwane gudemu. Into who Bawumia impetekuno imbrechi na. They have imbrechalized themselves and particularized themselves in a way they know they will rig the elections. It is Samiri. Mrs. Samira, Yamvana Samira, who called the Chrome Chada, and the Omashe, Omnia 1-1. Yeah, bo and the Black Star the child, but not Samira, Samre, and if who the bush of water, lie, let's only momo. Oh, free, a year, child could be a friend of Margaret, a one Samre, oh, free. Margaret, oh, track capitana, there 2 hours, 30 minutes drive, a whole free, you're for Margaret, a year crobia, or more normal part of stray, and into time a child, ye KK, no, and a Samre. Ne pusu ne papa ene ne wofa baako omode omoba Ghana enti samere no ono ene child ne Ghana bo no ne nsahye ne demrufem no wo hye ne din wapam eye onsa enchichide bi no in confirm ye bi no de chiso mtwa picture o ka mo gu abontene sa no ma bi no mo tantantan bi no ene o hye dem no de ne nsahye de ene wo hye because ne kurom team ene Ghana na ebo samere ne din no mo pa mo mutan so fa no birth certificate mra na mo hwe din wo so eye samere enye Samira obedu Ghana no broflize no because onu sem wagimi ofri mahrit sa krono mahrit e ho no free 2.5 hours from capital into no e child ni o ni yiri child ni no omo wieska fulani gan ne tirisu besiri na se fulani or you fulanized. She's a fulanized human being. You cannot take the fulanization from her. She has been fulanized and she is a fulanized human being. Into ordinary Kruno, they know what they are doing. Two international players, Baumianka Sankasa Nasifri Bokina. Some Prisro ko check moi, o check Baumianka. And it's an Asian Katiaka say, Baumiabusu and Fonina, Omo NDC4. Baumia pipi new. Baumia NDC, Mr. I think I had that video yesterday. I said in Katiaka, or see, Baumia, Mr. Get him the video, or see. Bawomia busu afo nya no me NDC executives Bawomia maame ne papa Bawomia papa served under Addo Rawlings Bawomia ne bra he was in NDC obia Bawomia o NDC ni Bawomia into ono or blacks or local on it ne yere no or Samre international players omo nyina naturalize no maba. So these are not people you can trust. They don't care. Samre enfan wo ono makeup no pato adaka po enti ane e ka somtuna muntie ya nhwe ya ye bema foreigners abedi Ghana so and these 2 foreigners eye Samre ene eye de Mahmoud. If we don't take care, these 2 foreigners will come, they will destroy our politics, our democracy, because one say Bawomia time na our power mama nche the different adequate pictures about Bawomia onya mamprusini Bawomia time na our power time na ye kuma kusasifo no ene mamprisifo ko no na nka osa Bawomia kasa na se na nka na busuafo pa na busuafo papa e wo mamprisi a anka obeka se mebusuafo ni bi wu and at the same time the kusasifo ni bi wu nti munja ntokwa no. It does not matter where you belong because eden ya ntokwa no obusuafo wu but because Bawomia wada dankofo so o mamprisi ni ono ne mamprisi ni Burkina ena omudi wure mu omuni passport. Enti Bawomia no ono he is not there for Ghanaians. Enti ayana moka yense mamprisi fo ku ye mamprisi fo ku obi no ono ntia se ne yere so free Chad ono so Samre ono so free Marriott. Enti they are 2 different international players. They are all not Ghanaians and we cannot sit in this country and take this country and give it to foreigners, 2 foreign players. Me say motam Ghana edema Samre ene Mahmudu one day tia na akora bi free e Chad abase Ghana ye ne dia ana na san papa e president ya tia na the cruise guka mu aba omo nyina ekeda om kon na omo sa an ana yes wa ene first lady na omo de nam Jubilee House o ya kekra paw mama ye hwe ye hu ye na Samre ene Mahmudu omo ye dangerous mama yenko enim. Mr. I wanted you to send me that video of Asiedin Ketia telling Ghana for say Bawomia onye MPP ni. Guys, I had it somewhere. I think it was yesterday, right? Yes, I have it here. Asiedin Ketia cheche muchiremu. O see, Bawomia ne Samre, especially Bawomia onye MPP ni o. Momiantie Asiedin Ketia. I hope this is the video.
Unim said na ne maame ye me woman organizer.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Nana maame ye woman organizer.
Woman organizer. Nti da ne maame free mu no me so me small delegation say yenkoye me woman organizer ye. So Edna ni nua pani any Chief Baumia, or no ye former ambassador to Burkina Faso. Any I didn't call Burkina Faso. President Mahama Breya.
Wow.
And Naya Kasei, or a member of NDC Council of Elders, Baumia Pani.
Dr. Mamudu Baumia.
Ninia Penny, a NDC Council of Elders member. Wow. A friend of Chief Baumia. So, Ninia no Mumino. Bakwan be pre DC, a womanim. Bakwan be pre MP, a womanim.
Wow.
Ne papa obi wuno. Now onon the ye chairman of ye Council of State. Wabra President Rollins, a ye president.
Dr. Mamudu Baumia.
Dr. Mamudu Baumia. Etim kochia Baumia ba bina ma ese minim no. I say o ye metamfo a. Me krase nya me betua me.
Any so you feel pa.
O ye nipa.
Baumia yan Disney flat. Eye ni bre na maraba MPP. One Samre or Chadini, Fulani, yes, she has been funeralized. Ain't it so? And now Osako history ma Canada Japan so ya wuneni. Canada Japan so tete. Atasa. Kennedy so maame. Eya wuneni Canada Japan. Canada Japan so ne papa ya wuneni ba. Na Kennedy no time ya wo no ne nkwara brem na sebio aware ne seye. Ena ne maame mo Kennedy story. We mo nya Ghana fo mo everyone ya Ghana fo. Omunya right to bro kado kre. Kennedy Japan so ne papa ya wuneni. Also free fosu. And then ye wu na busuani bia fosu. Ye wu na busuani bia say oh aha na Kennedy de ya ha ena ne papa tete no ebi ni ho onka bi da. De bia na me maame na den ekua den Kennedy so maame ne papa gya ye no. Ena omote Kennedy ena okotena Kumasi. Awunani ba o. Samo party we. Ito okotena Kumasi no. Ena Kennedy yesuma no okotena ne wofa bi nchen o Kumasi ne story no do Kennedy onya aseni o. Onfia sendom pimbia oboa opomeka nchemchemboa. Kennedy Kumasi yesuma no edi be 11 12 years ena ka ball no. It ka ball Kennedy ni ti ehwe fom. Mese musa no ose meboa ochena betena TV so ka se meboa. They operated Kennedy ni ti. And the Kennedy san nyoma na oye no. The second accident in the no, I must say, I Kennedy, Brony, it was what happened when he was a kid. He knows. Kennedy, my countryman, meaning the Fiauna, or ya pure analyzed. Or ya Igbeni ba Kennedy Japan. But Obeka people who know, or Ferris Obeka Chomso Yauni. Aye. Ne papanka say Yauni. Donko, and yan chain. Or Camela Copella blem. But Obedra can for party no on person who be free into a sofa ascend on pim. I want to mammy free nipper. Now mammy for ascend on papa free. Mumbusan is papa free. Sana mammy for ascend on pima. Ne papa free. Or trans say a can about na brabo munsum on can be papa free that. Oh ya wunani. Samira child ni. Baomia NDC Burkina ni. Sanko for when I am called for. Omunya different people bia because you need to understand say party a dangerous party here. Paul Afoko can say me. And before I move to the next topic, listen to Paul Afoko. Well, former chairman of the NPP, Paul Afoko. But they are mumunim the ekoso Ghana ho.
The NPP won. But you didn't go. Yes. Anyway, talking about you didn't get to see that and all of that. 2014 elected, 2015 you were kicked out. Tell me about it. Your tenure was marked by fierce internal disputes, and eventually that led to your suspension. Chairman Afoko, tell me, looking back, do you feel misunderstood or unfairly treated?
I think it's both actually. It's both.
You were misunderstood and unfairly treated.
Yeah.
You stand by that.
Yeah, I do. I stand by that. You see, for those who opposed me, those who didn't want me to be chairman and fought me all the way, as I said, vote buying, mudslinging, lies being told, all of that, I still won with a huge majority. They never gave up. In fact, I was told that one of them said, and my tree is not good anyway, but
go ahead.
I speak tree.
At least you tried. No problem. Go ahead.
Or see what the chairman. Yeah, crime. Chairman.
Someone said that.
Yes, he's still alive.
Wow.
He's still alive, and he knows himself. Anyway, so we came to Accra, and it was all this. I wanted a reform of the party. I didn't want this party to continue being seen in that light of being an elitist party. I wanted it to be seen as a party of the people, a mass party. And so I started looking at the reforms. In fact, one of the reforms that I brought about, which was an operational thing anyway, was that I insisted on every constituency in this country opening a bank account. And I pushed 10,000 CDs into every single constituency.
You did that. Chairman, you are loaded. Every single constituency. You gave them 10,000
CDs. But that wasn't my money. That wasn't my money.
You have a good heart. You
did. Yes. And I was opposed strongly, even within the executive.
Why?
Why should you be sending the money to constituencies?
Oh, really?
No, don't do that. And I said, come on. We have to finance and fund our base. That was part of what I was
But these are some of the same, these are the people, or some of them, who accused you of being out of touch with the grassroots, because it was some of, the comments that came up, and they felt that you were more aligned with internal factions than party unity. What would you say to that? How do you respond?
I would respond by saying that they were wearing blinkers. They had prejudged a situation and never had clear mind about me. You see, when you
Afoko is being too diplomatic. Asoma Kenya Kufu adu nti na waka ho. Ose omo ko sirem ekoye campaign. Ena owini ye. Ena Kufu adu ka say ye kwa Accra omra. Ya omra na Accra na omekire so a party chairman. Kufu adu asoro na waka no say the person is still alive. Kufu adu na ye ku eyi Afoko. Ose at a point okase ose constituency bia enya 10,000 Ghana cedis. Kufu adu say hey. Sikana ye di wonkran no command kwasiafo no. You cannot go and give it to the Imbrechi and the impeticus. Any the beginning of his end as the chairman of the NPP. That time no, na Mahamudu Bawumia is the person Kufuor was introducing to Kufuor to make sure say omo timi di omo nsa bo NPP sikemu. Afoko is directing you to how they stole the NPP money and how Kufuor and Bawumia them stole the money. Now in there yeah. Sata na Communist Japan General Secretary. Communist Japan was snitching on Afoko. It Communist Japan ne Bawumia mo ne Kufuor bo kotenasia. Na wakoke kansama kire omo. Owia no ada no ho aba se onimhwe because he's part of the executive. Into omo ko meeting na then the things that Afoko expect say Kufuor ne gang ne be ye no na Kufuor mo ato agu no so. Ho no General Secretary nkasa. And inche de be meka say Communist Japan is a snitch. Or your Russian go to jail. Inti every time be a party chairman, national chairman, executive betinasi aya meeting no, Afoko will go to Kufuor, call Bawumia, and they will gang and tell them everything. Inti de be an Kufuor ba no muna. Maame bosum bi na o party na anymore na ne sinyire tutu bi no, bosum ba beifo bi no. Na almost to work na we tie konkonsa. Onu teni no na oya against tia Afoko, another teni. Mo dafo no mo bi, mo na mo problem no. Teni ba o ha adwene. Or the set jata 30. So that was what they were doing. It's every time Afoko Omoko meeting, he does not get the respect. Everything they vote on, he doesn't win. He could not understand because every day no on an executive no small team this year no mudin koma. Then Communist Japan will go. Saba Akubina find a crab was said Bakubino on it there. He wasn't part. Communist Japan was there. He was liaising between party office and the Kufuor. Internet Kufuor to Nima no run the party no. It Afoko cast on the 10,000 echo constituencies no. No the Danko Kufuor they use general secretary who is Communist Japan. They have already entered the finances. So they rose up and said, no, where are you taking the money to? Because that was the place Afoko was going to call for an audit. So party is now I am the chairman. I've come up with a plan. Let us go give every constituency 10,000 Ghana. Now before we do that, we need to audit we need to audit what we have before we try to take some monies out. Enti eho ene Kufuado mo ene Kobne Japan mo e gange up against Paul Afoko. Now, how are they going to take him out? They need to distract him. They need to make sure say Omodi Asemia Toswa or because Paul Afoko is using his power as a chairman to at least he's abusing his office. That's what I wanted to say. And why no muko Srim and no muko cool chairman no Adams. Mahama Adams was at the end and I almost set Paul Afoko near Greg Afoko up. So that time Greg Afoko, young guy, wire dread, he fits not fitted that particular scene, you know. Sometimes Greg Afoko, a young guy, wire dread, and Ghana so the Rastabia is guilty. Inti they put Greg Afoko in that situation because as somebody see, Greg Afoko wasn't even there. He was called, and when he got there, they hanged him and said, "You." And I almost say Gregory, no one shame. Inti as somebody buy Tata Ekufuado. That was when Ekufuado has started his second coup. On a Bawumia, a snatch like Kobne Japan. Kennedy Japan munyina no mu say chire. Iti what you are seeing, Paul Afoko no, debia no meka che say, and I say it in the air every day. Debia many time bia aka na asem bia me say Paul Afoko be a man and stop being too diplomatic. Diplomacy and nkema unuaba man Greg nke ekunu jail no yeah. You are a tough man. You are a successful businessman. Who are you scared of? Be a man and have balls and talk like a man. And stop pleasing. Oh, you're tenny. No matter what you do, you are a tenny, and that is how they will see you in the party. It is not about you conducting yourself. It is not about your intelligence, your intellectual know-how. It is not about your contribution to the party. The party is a party that belongs to Asantefo Akamfo. They will never give you that respect. If you get the opportunity to speak on the party's ills, just be raw in your language. Because it does not matter what you will do, how much diplomacy you play. They don't care. And that is my biggest problem with Paul Afoko. When he gets the opportunity to let the world know what the NPP stands for, he starts to sugarcoat words. Diplomacy, and community cook Gregory. Anka Gregory Afoko, ewu ojela, anka will blame you, Paul Afoko. Because that's your useless diplomacy, no, and and you need to be a man. You need to step up. You need to talk and let people know. At this point, the NPP cannot give you anything. I don't even think you go back to NPP looking for any position. So why do you still speak, make them feel like you owe them something? You owe them nothing. So party that's what party and that's why speak truth in a raw form for the party to understand. When I wanted the NDC to come to power, I was straightforward with them. I spoke raw to them because I needed them to understand the reality. I have criticized every single person in the NDC, including John Mahama, because I wanted them to understand where they were when you're in the opposition. I wanted them to know the reality. So if you love something, you have to swallow the bitter pill by being honest and truthful to them. And that is the only way the NDC got to know that they needed to sit up. That is why John Mahama won with over 2 million votes. That is what being honest means. That is what it means. You should not try at this point. You were elected in 2014. They sacked you in 2015. It's an indictment on your career as a politician. Nana Addo Kufuor, you elected in 2014. They made sure the following year they sacked you. Is it not an insult? Is it not? Huh? How can you sack a chairman after a year? It means that from the beginning, they never respected and considered you, Tenny, to be the party chairman. It's a fact. It's a fact. Stop playing diplomacy here. I respect you a lot. You have achieved a lot in your business life. I respect you, but this kind of diplomacy you are playing, Gregory, because Gregory was caught in that web because of you. Nobody knew Gregory. Nana Addo Kufuor had an issue with you. He decided to make sure he pays you back. You didn't do the guy anything because the guy is a person who is very vindictive. Nana Addo Kufuor ne Bawumia mono, that is them. Nan say Bawumia kache Ghana for say, "Who so Jimmy, but his inside, his inner monkey is dangerous." He said it publicly, and it is until Brandy Champon pushed Bawumia to the wall, and kache Ghana for say, "Who so Jimmy, but my inside is a monkey. It is dangerous than the Kufuor." So Bawumia has actually given us glimpses or an idea of who he is. He has given us an idea. Atasa Kennedy, we know who he is. We know what he can do. We know his record. He has the most dirtiest record. Brian Champon is a liar. We know. Brian Champon, at the point we know, Olidi Sachs to go shoot people at Ayawaso West Wagon. It is on him. He, at the end of the day, election 2020. So we know who Brian Champon who he is and what he can do. I don't care about them. This is the reality. Let us accept it and deal with it. We are not joking here. This is politics. It's either you are for or you are against. When I decided to endorse the NDC and said, I will make sure the NDC comes to power using my platform, I was for. It is either you are for or you are against. In politics, there's no neutrality. I'm neutral. There's nothing like neutral in politics. Nobody is neutral in politics. If today I decide not to use my platform to help project the NDC, I don't have to sit here and make it sound like I am here, I am there. I need to make sure I leave the NDC, projecting the NDC, and leave them to do their own thing. Because if I believe in the vision of John Mahama, I need to make sure I push that vision 100%. I don't do half job. If I like you and I like your vision and I want to support your vision, I put everything on the line to support it. And anytime I catch and say, when it comes to Ghana politics, my commitment is to John Mahama. And not John Mahama as a person, but the wisdom in his head. The day I will stop endorsing John Mahama is the day I will make sure say wisdom. I have exhausted every wisdom in his head as a politician. So I don't worship John Mahama as a person. John Mahama can be my father, can be like any other person. He can be like any person who can commit a crime and also do good. But I worship the intelligence he has, the vision, and that is what I endorse. I am not that kind of person. Today, I am on Radio Gold. Tomorrow, I am on Power FM. The next day, I am on Angel FM. Like a political janitor and Jimmy don't know what to do. No, I am a straightforward person. I cut, and I know I cut deep. I have principle. That is how I live my life. I need to know nobody can take me for granted. That is why when I have $1, I am proud and I'm confident because I will not stoop low because of some dirty small money, because somebody will come and give me a car, because somebody said, no, I don't do that. I've lived beyond that. Until my credibility is intact. No politician in Ghana can speak in my face because I don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe any politician anything. I have not gone and sat and had a deal with any politician in Ghana. Nobody in the NDC from John Mahama to the last person. Nobody. Until I know what I am doing. That's why I'm confident in what I do. I came to the table with my own gold in my hand. I didn't come to the table to beg you that share your gold with me. I came with my gold. I built my own gold. So I'm not coming to sit at the table and make you intimidate me. No, because I know what I am worth. I can bring a party that is formed today to come and take seat more than any of those young, small parties in Ghana. I can. And it is not because I know more than anybody, because of my consistency, my belief, the team I work with, and God giving me that wisdom. That is what I live by. If you want to be truthful to the party, go straight and cut deep and stop brushing and doing this. No, Afoko, you are not helping them. The party not say, look in your face and say the party has fucked up. It's fucked up. You can't win elections now. You need to go back into exile. You, the party, have to go back like 22 years and reform the party. The principles are gone. Nyawotamaklo is speaking every day, has been speaking every day that the party is gone. Right now, the only thing we are waiting for, and I've said it before, my God, I'm nullifying this party in 2028. A group of termites and Impeteku and Imbreche will come up and form a new one. I will be the first person to force people in this party to form a new party. And I have that killer punch, and I'm keeping it for 2028. I have that antidote, and I'm keeping it to 2028. I will let this party go into exile for good. Some of the Impeteku and Imbreche will come out with a new party. I have said it. You will be shocked. CPP will even do better than the NPP. I'm telling you.